Hi, my name is Tim Hughes. I'm the CEO and co-founder of DLA Ignite, and I'm also the author of the book Social Selling Techniques to Influence Buyers and Change Makers, which is available on Amazon worldwide. In terms of some questions for me, what inspired you to become a pioneer in the field of social selling and digital business transformation? I've been involved now in social media for some 15, 20 years. And what I realized was that organizations need to actually take into account the fact that social media is changing the world. We now know that 61% of the world's population are active on social media. Active means that the average person is spending 2 hours, 20 minutes a day on social media. So the days of where you could use interruption marketing, shout from the top of a building and how brilliant your product is, and expect people to buy, those days are well over. And so what you need to do is you need to go to market differently. We now know that cold calling, sending spam emails, advertising, all of those things don't work anymore. So what you need to do? Well, you need to go where your buyers are, and your buyers are on social media. That's why you need to be involved in social media and empower your salespeople and your employees to be active on social media. Why do you believe it's crucial for businesses today, and I talk particularly about the B2B industry, then which platform or strategies would you suggest for social selling? First and foremost, there are three things you need to do to be to use social selling. The first thing is that you need to have a buyer-centric profile. What is that? It's a profile on social media that your buyers will be interested in. So buyers are not interested in how great you are at selling. What they are is they're interested in how you can help them, what it is that you're going to do that can support their business. So first and foremost, you need to have a buyer-centric profile on social media. This is your shop window to the world. When people go past that shop window, they need to go, wow, that looks interesting. The second thing you need is a network. If you're not connected to the people that you're trying to influence or sell to, then ultimately you're not going to sell to them because you're going to be invisible. So you need to have an active process at being able to connect to people and do that in a non-spammy way. The third thing that you need is content. Content that inspires buyers, content that explains how you could help them. So we have a definition of social selling, which I'll read out for you. It's using your presence and behavior on social media to build influence, make connections, grow relationships and trust, which lead to conversations and commercial interaction. Ultimately, what you'll find is that in a B2B, business to business world, conversations are what you need because conversations create sales. Third question. Can you share an example of a company that successfully transformed its business through social selling? Yes, I can. We have a number of clients. We've got Salesforce, Oracle are clients of ours. We've also got a number of companies that are in the channel, so for Oracle partners. And many of our clients are doing multi-million-dollar deals by using social media. So traditionally, the SDRs, most SDRs, the average SDR is now getting 2 meetings a day with their ideal customer profile, the ICP, using our social selling methodology. We have AEs that are getting 3 meetings a day. A good SDR should be getting 25 meetings a week, which is exponentially better than cold calling or sending spam email. Strategies and insights. What's the most common challenge businesses face when implementing social selling strategies? The biggest issue that you face when you're implementing a social selling strategy is the fact that you need to take this and understand that this is a strategy, not a tactic. So going out onto social media and finding out what the latest guru is saying or whatever the latest report that says this is what you need to do to beat the algorithm, you're wasting your time. What you need to do is you need to have a strategy, a methodology, a very clear process. If you do this, you do this, you do this. That's the way that you win on social media. We've built a social selling methodology. It's the only one certified in the world by the Institute of Sales Professionals, and it provides salespeople or employees with the foundation that they need in terms of understanding how to look good on social media, how to build a network in a non-spammy way, how to create content that actually resonates with people, what you do when you create that content, how to create those meetings, how to create those conversations. All of those things are part of our social selling methodology. Uh, how can businesses measure the success of their social selling efforts? Great question. First and foremost, two measures, which is one is the number of meetings that you get, and the second is the amount of revenue that you create. It's as simple as that. Now, there are some leading indicators that you can use from a digital perspective. So, how many people that you connect to? How many people accept that connection? How many conversations do you get off the back of those connections? How many pieces of content do you put out? How much engagement does it get? How many conversations can you get off the back of those that engagement? Because all of those things are leading to revenue. So as a sales leader, if you're measuring it, or a marketing leader, you actually have the measurements that can provide the CFO and the CEO with the future or the insight they need for the future business. You won't get that from the CRM. You'll get these from these leading indicators. What role does What role does content play in social selling, and how can companies ensure their content is effective? Content is really important in a social selling context, and the reason for that is we know that our buyers are looking for it. They're looking for insight. They're looking for, they've got business issues and they're looking for ways to solve them. They're not looking for brochures, and they're not looking for brochureware. Anything that says buy my product because it's great, they're not looking for and they won't read. They're looking for real insight. Why is it? Pick areas of your product, and don't write about the features or the benefits. Write about how it can actually help people. And we know that people are on social media looking for content. They're looking for insight. They're looking to be educated. So why not provide them with that content? Now, the thing is that, or the trick is that what you need to do is you need to empower your people to create this content. At the end of the day, from a sales perspective, this shouldn't be a problem, because creating content is how you prospect. It's modern prospecting. So even as a CEO, I create content and put out content every single day. And the reason why I do that is I know that my buyers are going to look at it and read it, and they'll go, that's Tim Hughes. If we need social selling, I know who we're going to call. And the other thing that you need to think about in terms of content is about how to get engagement. The whole point of content is not just to put out content. The whole point of content is to get conversations, to get people to engage. So getting everybody in the company to like your content, from a vanity perspective, I'm sure it's very nice. But really, you're living in an echo chamber. You need to be getting people outside of your network, or the people that you're trying to influence, liking and engaging with your content. And then you need to understand how to harvest that content and that engagement, which is why 3 things you need. Buyer-centric profile. You look good online. You need a network of people that you're connecting to, that you're trying to influence and ultimately sell to. And then you need content. And if you're just sitting, putting out content and getting your employees to like it, it's not a waste of time, but it's pretty much close to it. So, advice for inspiring innovators. What advice would you give to newbies in the field of digital business transformation? The first thing that you need to do is you need to take this seriously. You need to put time against it, and you need to find a proper methodology that's actually backed by somebody like the Institute of Sales Professionals that will give you the foundations that you need. It's all very well running off and looking at the latest guru or trying to read about Whether you put 5 hashtags or 4 hashtags this week, or it's 6 hashtags, it really doesn't matter. What you need to do is you need to have the foundations of what actually is what's going to help you. And I've already explained, biocentric profile, uh, 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 wide and varied network, and content. And the way that you need to do that is you need to understand how to do those things, and you need to find an organization and someone that's going to give you that practical experience. Can you share any books, podcasts, or resources that have been particularly influential in your career? Well, apart from my book, a number of books have been particularly influential to me. Permission Marketing, which is now some 20, 21 years old, by Seth Godin, really is a position in marketing which I think is fantastic. Um, he he puts it out there that people don't want to be interrupted. We now live in a zero interrupt world. We don't want to be cold called, and we don't want to have spam emails sent to us. Um, in terms of some books, this is one that's come out recently, Brand Management. If you're looking about building a brand or anything like that, that's really good. And also James Muir's new book on unsticking deals is a really good book as well. And also Rob Durant's book on social enablement. That's a really good book that you should also look at as well. In your experience, what are the key factors that differentiate a successful marketing agency from the rest in today's digital landscape? I think for any organization, whether you're an agency or whether you're a company, what differentiates you is this understanding that the world has changed, that the world has moved to digital, and the world has moved to social media. This obsession that marketing companies have, that they have to keep putting out and broadcasting things either through advertising or putting ultimately brochures on social media. I mean, the game's over for this. Report after report after report shows this. From McKinsey to HubSpot to G2, all of these reports basically say that game is over. And we know from data. So there's a good person for you to follow, which is Simon Kemp on LinkedIn. He provides a free report on the state of social media. We know that 62% of the world's population is on social media. We know that the average person is active for 2 hours and 20 minutes a day. We know that people are coming to social media. That's where we need to be. And we need to follow some very key steps in terms of having a biocentric profile, a profile that people are interested in and can see that you can help. A wide and varied network, not just being connected to your friends and your colleagues, but wider than that, the people that you're trying to influence, the people that you're trying to sell to, and do that in a non-spammy way. Because when you connect to somebody, that's an opportunity to have a conversation. Conversations create sales. So clearly you would want to do that. And the third thing that you need is to have content. Content that inspires, content that helps people, content that isn't just brochureware and says, buy my product because we're great. So my name's Tim Hughes. If you want to know more, then there's my third book, which is available on Amazon worldwide, Social Selling Techniques to Influence Buyers and Change Makers. And this is the second edition with the yellow cover. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called DLA Ignite. If you want to know anything else, then please connect to me or send me a message on LinkedIn.